Yashodanandana, I hope you're listening, and if not, somebody can inform him. At the end, invite you to make some announcements about things that are important for everybody to know. And I'd like you to make an announcement about this session with Barrow, the timing and how to find out about it, etc. The whole ISKCON world is kind of shaken up. When a great personality, spiritual personality, leader or otherwise leaves, it's very difficult to process. And we'll all make our efforts to try to help one another process. So we'll try to move on. This is our final day of the Festival of the Holy Name. And for those of you that are participating with us in the Festival of the Holy Name, this is our 32 round day, 64 round day, 108 round day, whatever you can manage. And I say that many because when we have this kind of event in some places, I'm thinking specifically of Shyamasundar Prabhu in Houston, he's almost always well over 100. He really likes chanting. He likes inspiring others to chant. And so however many rounds you chant today, let us focus on dedicating this yajna to the departed soul of Bhakti Maharaj and his wonderful followers. If it's appropriate, I was thinking tomorrow morning, I'm not sure when, sometime while I'm here, some morning class just dedicated to Bhakti Maharaj and speaking something. And I'll sort that out with the people that understand when might be the best time. Yesterday, during the question answer session, someone was saying, when they chant, they remember all the tools. Who was it that said that? Mahati. Okay. Fantastic. The image is a wheelbarrow. And those of you that are urban people, you don't know what wheelbarrow is. But Satyananda Swami knows what it is, and English is his second language. It's a term he uses, that's why it's in the image here, of things that can be helpful to you today when chanting, however many rounds you be dedicated to chanting. And there's many that I wanted to emphasize. We're okay? Yeah. Okay. 5, and great graphics, huh? She's very talented. And I don't think that's going to be her profession, but she's very talented. So thank you, Shruti, for your commitment. Something that we didn't discuss, some of the tools will be things we discuss and just reminders and so forth. This is going to be a short class, so pay attention. It won't be the usual dragged out long ones. Something that I personally like and take shelter of on a regular, if not a daily basis, very regular basis for a long period of time. I find it very helpful. Besides, it's very sweet. So Sri Radhika is going to recite the verse, and we can listen carefully.
Tunde tandavini ratem vitanute Tundavali labdhaye Karna krodha kadambini ghatayate Karna buddhibhya spriha Chita prangana sangini vijayate Sarvendriyanam kritim no jane janita kiyat biramritaye Krishne tivarena dvai.
Prabhupada's translation, 4 parts. I do not know how much nectar the 2 syllables Krishna have produced. So appreciation of the name having so much nectar. Next, when the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouths. This is Rupa Goswami's picture of the experience of chanting and tasting the nectar. Wants many, many mouths. This image is shared by other acharyas, but this is what I do when meditating on this mantra or this verse, is focusing on making the sound very distinct or pronouncing it distinctly. Focus on making the sound. Then, when that name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. So focus then from this vibrating of the sound to the hearing of the sound. Attentive, as we were discussing yesterday, rapt attention to the sound. And everything, the next is dependent upon the former, this one, hearing. And finally, when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. Now that's Rupa Goswami's chanting. And we're not there yet, but we can follow in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami in these ways, recognizing the nectar that within the 2 syllables, Krishna, and it produces nectar, it has nectar and it produces nectar, vibrating the sound clearly, hearing the sound with rapt attention. One wants to hear more and hear more and hear more and hear more, and then the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart. Beautiful image. It conquers the activities of the mind. The name conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. So it's a tool. It's a glorification of the chanting process that Rupa Goswami experiences and sharing it with us. And from it, Vidagdha Madhava, this is Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. This is the leading introductory section of the Vidagdha Madhava. And then the pastimes. Very, very amazingly described. Second, again, very beautiful graphics. The theme, say yes to Krishna, specifically say yes to Krishna's name, say yes to the holy name. In these three sequential stages, yearning, enthusiasm that supports the yearning, and the fruit, spontaneity. So you can remember as we spend our time today and the next day, saying yes to Krishna's name. Like, Kabe habe bola se dinamar, when will that day come? When? When, oh, when will that day come? That's the yearning, and being clear what we're yearning for, and powering that yearning into action is enthusiastic chanting. When we finish, we'll have some time, even before breakfast, we can exercise our yearning and enthusiastic muscles and strive for coming to this spontaneous position as the perfected souls do. One mantra at a time. We didn't make this point of emphasis, but it's from Burijan's book, Japa. So that's the focus of the whole book. Mantra, meditation, one mantra at a time, one mantra at a time. And if you find you're getting distracted, the mantra that you're chanting, not just the next mantra, but the very mantra that you're chanting, bring your mind to that chanting. Check it out. Down here, looks like there's a person, and over here there's a person watching this mindful chanter. Very beautiful. So we can get distracted by the beautiful graphics, but the emphasis is one mantra at a time, and however many, one mantra at a time, one mantra at a time. Oh, there's the other person over here. Kind of looked like a mirror of the two on one side, left side. Huh? What is it?
Painter's signature.
Yeah.
Is on the bottom left corner and the bottom right.
Oh. Okay. I don't know how she does it, but nice going. And here's our Gopal Kumar. This is his guru giving him his mantra. And in the scene in the background is Vrindavan, of course, with peacocks and the river Jamuna, abundant trees and vines and flowering bushes, and the all sacred mantra. So when there's stages in this Brihad Bhagavatamrita where his guru, he sees him again by occasion and gives him certain instructions, but initially he just gives him the mantra without any instruction. But when the instructions are imparted, he recognizes the mantra is sacred, a great treasure, a great fortune, a great kindness, a great mercy from his spiritual master who doesn't even know his name, but he just has great reverence for him. And speaking the mantra into his left ear, the guru becomes ecstatic and starts wandering away into the distance and just disappears. But gradually he gets instructions, and the faithfulness that Gopal Kumar has to continuously chant and to receive the fullness of the gift. I didn't bring those exact translation messages with me, but I'm sure you remember. It's inspiring. It's inspiring. Sanatana Goswami is creating this wonderful literature for us to see this trajectory of going from receiving mantra to returning to Krishna. And there's a big space in between, but something that powers it is commitment, continuous chanting. And receiving the fullness of the gift. So that's a tool that if you get into that meditation, that groove, that mood in chanting, it's very powerful. Still there's unsteadiness because that's the place we're in, but it's very powerful. And final, the holy name is a person. No, Abhinatvam Nama Namino. We discussed it a bit. It's a really big topic. It's been discussed in other Festival of the Holy Name events. It's an essential teaching that's part of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but it's directly from Padma Purana, quoted in Hari Bhakti Vilas, written about by all of our acharyas. So it's worth mentioning specific, the graphic is great again also. The connection between us and Krishna is the name, and the name not just connects us with Krishna, the person, but the name is also a person. They're non-different. We get to associate with Krishna even though we're covered, fallen in illusion and unqualified and all those things. He mercifully makes himself accessible to us. Now I'll repeat something. This is our last slide. Something that was elaborately discussed in the last Festival of the Holy Name, but I'll just touch on it because it's an important tool. Bhaktisiddhanta speaks about hearing with the spiritual ear. And he explains that the material ear, or our covering of consciousness, tells us that the sound is a material sound because we can't perceive that which is spiritual with a material instrument. We still have an instrument, but it needs to be heard with a spiritual ear. And what exactly does that mean? People ask, what is it exactly does that mean? I'm not telling. It means a yearning of the soul, that the aspiration of the soul to connect with Krishna. And since the instruction is we can connect with him through sound, that's this rapt attention or spiritual ear. The material ear is involved, but it's not limited to the material ear because it's spiritual sound. And if we strive, then the cleansing, the purification of enthusiasm, purification of intention. Complacency doesn't get you anywhere in material or spiritual life. There has to be a consistent, steady, determined effort to bring the hearing process to the sound. And Bhaktisiddhanta's explanation is when that happens, when the spiritual ear hears the sound, then that's when the mind becomes conquered. That's connect with Rupa Goswami's. The mind becomes conquered. And the mind and the other senses, he uses the language, no longer quibble. We're equal. They're not equal. For spiritual progress, the ear is most essential. The mind is, of course, extremely important, but how do you make the mind your best friend instead of your greatest enemy? It has to be under control. And how do you bring this thing, this subtle thing, the mind, under control? It appears that I'm a little bit inclined to go toward this Sankhya topic. It appears that, the mind is like another person. We want to go to Krishna, the mind doesn't want to go to Krishna. Well, how strongly do we want to go to Krishna? And how strong is the mind? And it's a battle. And guess who wins? Usually it's the mind. I'm not going to Krishna. You can go ahead and, pretend that I'm not going to Krishna. So there. Stubborn. But so it's as if it's another entity with another will. So Sankhya teaches it appears like that. That's the nature of illusion. It appears to be real. The appearance of a personality to the mind appears to be real. And it acts as if it is, unless it becomes controlled. How we have to make the mind our best friend. And then the mind can take us to Krishna. So the yoga process, we're practicing bhakti yoga. The yoga process of any kind requires the mind is under control. And how do you get the mind under control? Well, there's mechanical processes, but it's insufficient. It's insufficient. Da, 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 da. No happiness. Da, 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 da. And we heard. There's absolutely no happiness in Brahman realization. If the cessation of something is not real positive happiness. So the mind, to bring it to the point where it can experience spiritual happiness, requires the spiritual ear. And it takes a lot of work. It's not complacency is insufficient. We can go on chanting as Chaitanya Charitamrita teaches us for so many lifetimes. N number of lifetimes, and we're chanting. We don't want to do that. We want to connect, not just we want to get out of this place. We want to connect with Krishna. And when that aspiration is the non-material aspiration to be in our relationship with Krishna, it's be in our relationship with the holy name. And that's a stretch because we see with material conceptions. That's what the mind does. It's measuring things by material conceptions. The mind carries various conceptions of life like the air carries aroma. And so the scriptural message is there to help us convert from a material to a spiritual conception. But it won't be accomplished. It's not possible, Bhaktisiddhanta writes. It is not possible for this material mind to understand the holy name as a person. The holy name and Krishna are non-different. We accept the principle, that's the notional Gyan part. And then to get to the experience part, there has to be steady hearing, ardent hearing, sometimes Prabhupada uses, rapt attention, etc. And it doesn't come about by being lazy or just numerical chanting. It comes about by strong effort. And when that experience is there, then we get to understand what Rupa Goswami is writing about, not just understand it notionally, but experience it. And it's possible. We can get glimmers, like the rising of the sun in the morning tells, here comes the sun. But it's not the fullness and brightness of the sun. So to get the fullness and brightness of the name and Krishna are the same, the hearing is required. Very, very careful hearing and chanting and hearing and chanting. So that's our festival of the holy name. Working on that in a very focused way in the association of others, similarly focused. I don't know how it's going to work. Is it that those who wish to chant here can chant here, or will go to the temple room and chant in the temple room until something or other o'clock, because the public will come in at something or other o'clock, whenever that is? Does anybody have an idea? Where's Sundari Radha?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'm right online over here.
Okay, so what's the plan?
So devotees they can feel free to stay there and chant if they'd like.
Wait, we're going to get the microphone. Hold on. Say it again. Devotees are what?
Devotees can feel free to stay in that room if they'd like. They also can go to the temple room, but the temple room opens to the public around 4:30.
4:30.
Which is after our 32 round day.
Okay, but our 32 round day ends before 4:30.
Right, exactly. And the devotees on the Zoom call we will be presenting a PowerPoint with meditations and Prabhupada's chanting, so they can stay on the Zoom call as well.
Do you have the Crying for Krishna? Is that going to be here or downstairs?
She asked for Zoom, they will share the screen.
Ah, okay. Well, you have your choice. And you have multiple choices. But chanting here with the Crying for Krishna, it's nice to devotees chant together, but chant in the temple room or go to the lake wearing your mask and whatever you want to do. But try to take advantage of this, the focus that we're trying to bring to the chanting of the holy name. Anything else? You still here?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Nothing from my side. Yashodhanandan Prabhu will make announcements whenever they're done.
Okay. Any discussion, or we'll just go to announcements and break? Okay. You have something?
What is that line between the
That's what's intended. I mean, that's the intention. So you speak about this exercise of Mataji.
Hare Krishna devotees. With the passing of His Holiness Bhakti Swami, like Maharaj mentioned, the whole world is grieving. The Eastern community is experiencing the loss in a very significant way. The ranges of response will be from sadness to feeling intense trauma in some cases. The Devotee Care Committee from Chicago, we've discussed this with Her Grace Ramapur Mataji, who is the Director for Karuna Care Education in ISKCON, which is a new initiative, state
audio issue? That's good. Go back to the beginning. Karuna care.
So, Mother Barrow, who's the director of Karuna Care Education in ISKCON. It's a new initiative to train devotees in devotee care in general. She's also a trainer for chaplain of different faiths in a hospital in Los Angeles. So she has tons of experience and training, and she's also training devotees to do so. I'm also one of her students. And she's going to help, along with myself, facilitate a session this afternoon. And we're inviting all of the devotees who feel especially impacted by Maharaj's leaving, Bhakti Swami's leaving. And the session will be at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. For those who are local in Chicago, you're highly encouraged and welcome to come to the temple. We'll be social distance. Please bring a mask. We'll be in a private space upstairs in the temple, and the rest of the community who would like to join will be on Zoom, including Mother Rambo, and we'll have the Zoom call projected on the screen here. So kindly join us as we support each other, process together this significant loss to our community.
I recommend those who find themselves from time to time, not only in this circumstance, but in other circumstances, helping people handle grieving loss. You may not be personally impacted as much as his disciples, etc., but to understand how to handle the circumstances. She's fantastic, and you can attend for that reason also. And is there some limit to how many the Zoom can handle?
No? Oh, we have okay. So we have about 500 people who can attend.
Okay.
So there's no limit. All those who would like to attend can attend, and even those who, whenever there's love, there's going to be pain, especially in this particular case. But even if there may not be necessarily a strong relationship, we may experience some sense of shock because of being faced with our own mortality. It may come to light for us. And so in such cases, also you might find this session particularly helpful.
So if they want to join, what should they do?
An email was sent out with a Zoom link. And the information was also sent on the ISKCON Chicago WhatsApp. We'll put it on Romapada Swami Maharaj's WhatsApp group as well. So you have that information.
So if there are people listening that don't have any one of those three options available to you,
please, you can write to me at yjd.rps. So that's yjd.rps@gmail.com. You can confirm your participation that way, and I will send you the Zoom link. And also, if you plan to attend personally at the temple, we request if you could kindly confirm your participation again with my email, yjd.rps@gmail. That would be highly appreciated. You want to say? Yeah, so Nityananda Prabhu is asking or suggesting that we make the differentiation between what this is versus a memorial service. In a memorial service, we're primarily glorifying the pastimes or the fond memories of the person that we are missing the association of. This particular session is more geared toward, there'll certainly be some degree of discussion of his memories, but also more specifically, it'll be targeting the emotions of the devotees who are experiencing his loss. So it's our feelings and our trajectory to being this.
Yashodanandan Prabhu, can you speak up? Can you hear me?
Hare Krishna, I think Yashodan Prabhu got pulled away, so I'll make the announcements for him.
Okay.
So we were gonna actually announce this session. I know that the audio was quite hard to hear, so we've actually sent an email to everyone on this call, everyone who's registered. We sent an email with this information, with Yamuna Jivan Prabhu's email, and the Zoom link information. So you have all of it in your email in case you couldn't hear it in the announcement. We just also wanted to announce and encourage devotees to please stay on the Zoom call so you can stay together even though we're not together. It's together in a sense that you know that there's 103 other people trying to chant the holy names, and we're also going to be presenting the slideshow Maharaj was speaking about, chanting for Krishna. So it can help you stay focused during the 32 rounds. And then just an announcement about the schedule. The sharing session will begin at 2:00. So please join back to share your experiences with each other. And please message on the chat if you have any questions, or you have my contact info. You can reach out with any questions as well. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna.
Live stream on the short at 10:45 Central Time. I believe there is a short live stream of the final rites ceremony for Srila Bhakti Charu Swami. And if we are in this room, perhaps we can log in from here and project while we are chanting japa and bidding farewell. I can share with Vamsidhari the details.